Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we are building in the hidden world of Sylvan Glade. You can access it if you go to the Willow Creek neighborhood. There is like a really enchanted looking tree. It's kind of hard to miss. I forget what neighborhood it's in at the moment, but it's where I built that first rental home I ever built, the green one, and it's like right next to it there's a tiny little park that's not really a park, it's kind of just part of the world, but there's a tree there, and if you access it and answer the questions correctly, you will go here to the Sylvan Glade. And then if you access bb.enable free build, you can build on this secret lot. You can't change the lot type to like park or residential, anything like that. It's just always set as Sylvan Glade. You can't change it. You can change the name, but you cannot change the lot type. So today we are here, and I thought that this very pink, sparkly, and enchanted world called for a little fairy hut of some sort. So here you'll see me. I already created the shell. I did make a little bit of a hill with the terrain tools just to see if I could play around with it a little more. I need a little bit more experience with it anyway, and I just thought that this should be up a little bit higher. And it has the siding and the foundation from the new Castle Estate kit. I also end up replacing the stairs with the Castle Estate kit stairs. I use a lot from there. I think I use the flooring as well on the front and back patio spaces, and in the greenhouse. There does end up being a greenhouse. It is the little box attached off to the right, and you'll see that very shortly. But first we're working on a second floor, because the second floor will contain a bunk bed in case your sim comes and wants to explore the glade and then needs a little nap or something, or if they want to stay overnight. The other cool thing about this world is there really is no time of day change. Like, it could be 3 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the lighting is still the same. It does not get dark. There is no nighttime. It is just constantly daytime. The sun just goes around and around. There's different lighting at different times of the day, but it's always light. It's very, very interesting, because I was here for a while just playtesting it, and it never became nighttime. I did not know that about this world. I had never spent that much time here. So that's interesting to note. But you can still take a nap here in one of the bunk beds upstairs if you want. Now you'll see where I placed that glass roof off to the side. That is where the greenhouse will be. So I thought the glass roof was very handy. And then I was deciding on some decoration. I used this little like thatched roof fake dormer from Cottage Living. This house uses a lot of Cottage Living, actually. Cottage Living, Castle Estate kit, and what else? I use like the Everyday Clutter kit, I believe, and also Bloomin' Rooms. I use a lot of Bloomin' Rooms and Greenhouse Haven. I think a little bit of Get Together, mostly for like the vining plants, the flowering vining plants I thought were necessary. I may use a little University too, also just for the vines that come with that in the plants menu. And then this beautiful pergola from My Wedding Stories, because I just thought it was perfect for this back patio space. Now, it doesn't, if you move it up, obviously it kind of sticks up a little bit. So I had to work around that, but I did find a nice little fix that still works. At first I was using these columns from the Castle Estate kit, but they weren't quite doing it. They didn't quite hide the posts from the pergola. And also every time I started to change the wallpaper or change anything about the interior of the home, it wanted to delete. You'll see it like highlights yellow when I'm trying to change something else, and it kept wanting to delete. So with Better Build By, there is something you can enable, which is called deletion protection. And you're only supposed to use it for a little bit, like just for the time where you're moving something or changing something where it wants to delete another item that is seemingly unrelated, hence the pergola. But if you enable that and then do your changes, it won't delete the item. But then you have to deselect deletion protection, or things will get so messed up. It'll say like system error, and you won't be able to delete anything even if you use the sledgehammer tool. Like, it just won't go away and the game will be freaking out. So you have to be careful with deletion protection, but it is a very handy tool. Here you'll see me adding more vines, some wisteria. I also added a front awning, also from Cottage Living, and I picked like a mossy one The theme of this home is very mossy and overgrown, but still really pretty and enchanted. And this piece of wisteria here on the corner sticks through the house, but I thought that that was a nice feature and we could make it work because that's where the greenhouse is going to be. So it doesn't matter if they have a little bit of overgrowth on the inside. The fairies don't mind. My thought is that there are itty bitty fairies in this world. And you don't really see them because they choose when they want to be seen. But they come here and they take care of the plants and they take care of the little things around the house. So if you leave dirty dishes here because you spent the day here and had a little snack, they will clean up after you and they will water the plants and they will just enchant the home, maybe leave gifts. That is my thought here. So there are fairies in this world, but they don't choose to be seen. They wait until you leave and then they're like little fairy godmothers. They clean up after you. But I thought that that was a nifty little idea, kind of like a storyline to put behind this house. So here you'll see I placed the windows. The big cathedral looking windows are from the Castle Estate kit, and then I also add this Greenhouse Haven window with the little open top piece because I thought that that made a lot of sense. I think it's also like screen material to let in some fresh air. Thought that was a nice touch. And then the other square windows with the shutters are from My Wedding Stories. I tried not to use a lot of packs in this build. Don't quote me on how many I actually used because I'm terrible with overusing packs. Like I'll use one item from each pack and on the gallery it says, oh look, you've used every single pack for this tiny little house. I don't know how I do it, but I cannot control myself. So I tried to make it as limited a pack build as I could within reason. So, and back here on this back deck, I did know I wanted more room. So I come back to that later, but first we're going to work on the interior. And I did have to move this pergola around quite a few times because it started to like clip through or it just didn't look right. I do fix it completely in the end, and I find a really nice way to hide those posts, which you will see. And here is the door to the greenhouse. I added the door and also one more window, screen window from Greenhouse Haven. I thought that was a nice touch. I moved that door to the back deck. That is from Cottage Living. I moved that over a smidge. And here you'll see deletion protection goes on when I add the wall to the bathroom because it wanted to delete the pergola. I don't know why. And also one more door from Cottage Living to this very tiny bathroom. It gave me a little bit of trouble. I was having a hard time figuring out where things would fit so that it would be functional. I did use the tiny living toilet, and at first I picked out the tiny living sink, but then after I placed this big mirror from Werewolves, because I just love the big moon and it's like got crystals and vines on it, I thought it was very fitting. I decided to change up the sink, so I used these from the Country Kitchen kit in this pink swatch. That way it would make a little bit more sense to have like a larger vanity. And then when I play tested my sim, it could not get to the toilet, so I had to switch the orientation of the toilet, and it took a couple tries. I only showed this one try, but this worked just fine. And then I added the sink, and I made sure afterwards that she could wash her hands in there, and she had no problem. So we were good to go, and then I could finish up decorating in here. I did add some wall lights. These are also from My Wedding Stories, these little candles. I thought they were very, very cute in this space. I just put two kind of off center, and they do get moved later. They might be in a different orientation because I had to fix some flooring issues outside and it moved the whole room over and I had to remake it. It was a lot of fun, but I was actually very proud of this build. It only took me one build session. So my kids went to bed. It was about, I don't know, 8:45, 9 o'clock at night. I finished around midnight. It was done, completely done. It was great. The only other thing I had to do was do screenshots and, you know, obviously editing, which that took a day and a half, but that's okay. And then you know, my graphics and stuff, my screenshot and my outro page, slideshow, etc. But I finished it in one day. That never happens. I never have just one little chunk of build footage to edit. I usually have 3 or 4, sometimes 6. I was quite proud of myself. So here we have moved into the kitchen after I just spoke over the entire bathroom, but we'll get back to that later anyway. We are using the wallpaper from Home Chef Hustle here in the kitchen, and then I repeated the same counters from the bathroom. And the wallpaper ends up being also from my wedding stories. I use this pink gradient wallpaper on all the walls, and the flooring is from Home Chef Hustle as well. The flooring, the wood flooring is from Cottage Living. And then I think I just repeated the same pattern from the outside wall on this wall here, because the inside of the greenhouse also has that mossy castle brick that I very much enjoy. And you'll see I have to turn on deletion protection again to place the wallpaper for some reason. I don't understand, but that's okay. We have mods for this. So, and then here's also a cute little log with some moss and some pink mushrooms on it. I couldn't resist. So I put that over here. That's actually a couch and it works just like a couch. Nobody had any issues with it. And then I wanted to place some decorations. So I placed some trellis pieces from high school years. And then I replaced the ladder with the trellis ladder because I thought that blended in really nicely. And then one little leaf curtain piece up above the door. Just to blend in a little bit more and make it look super enchanted and flowery. You'll see I didn't clutter up the kitchen too much, but I did try to add a lot of like decoration, a lot of flowers, and I wanted this place to be easy to download. And also, oh, there's the light from Desert Lux, so there's another packet. But I wanted this lot to be easy to download, and also if your sim wants to come here on a regular basis to visit, I want them to be able to, decorate as they wish. Here you'll see I pulled out a chess table and some chairs. The chairs are from Laundry Day and the chess table is from Outdoor Retreat. I moved that outside, but I just wanted to pick it out inside because the lighting is easier. And also this table and chair set is from Paranormal Stuff Pack. I was going between picking the yellow or the pink chairs for this, and I do believe I went with the pink chairs. Also, we added a little tea set on the counter, and then I was adding some upper head cabinets, and this took me a very long time. So I knew I wanted that outer counter or outer cabinet piece, but I couldn't figure out what the rest of the cabinets were going to look like. I also added the shelf instead of an end piece over here above the fridge. That one is from Home Chef Hustle. And then the end piece over here I wasn't really liking, so I kind of switched the orientation, and I think this is how I keep it. I very much enjoy that. And I added some more of those candles, those wall candles from the bathroom from my wedding stories. I also used Toolmod to size up the fridge ever so slightly, just 1.1 as opposed to the normal size, which is just the number 1. It makes it just fill in that space a little nicer, but the animation doesn't get too messed up. Everything looks the same and it's completely functional. And then I was adding some rugs. At first I had picked up that algae rug from, I think, Snowy Escape, but then I opted for the flower rug from high school years instead, for the sake of pack usage, and also because I just thought that it worked better in that area. It didn't look quite so outdoorsy. And then here are just some flower decorations, some wall paintings from Dream Home Decorator. I moved them over here to the corner, and I pretty much keep the rest of this wall plain except for this lovely flower wreath, which I believe is from Seasons. I think it's from Seasons. And then over here in the kitchen, I did clutter up the top of the fridge and also these shelves. These shelves called for a lot of clutter. So I added a little teapot here from, I think that's from Country Kitchen Kit. And also this little bunny from Cottage Living. I just love that bunny. And I think, what else did I add up here? I do move the bunny over and I got rid of those little boxes. I added some plants. Here's this one from Greenhouse Haven, and also one more from Bloomin' Rooms. I think it's just that other little tiny, like, adorable little plant in the round planter. And then up at the top, I thought it would be nice to have like a little basket of like reusable napkins because we are friendly, and then also some plates and like party wear, and I imagine that those are washable and they can use the bathroom sink. I did not add a kitchen sink because I wanted to leave a lot of countertop space in case anyone brought like a waffle maker or a pizza maker or like a microwave or an Instant Pot or anything like that. If you brought that with you, because those small appliances can now go into your Sims inventory, I thought it would be nice to leave a lot of space on the counters so that you could make your own food while you were here. But I didn't want to clutter it up with, appliances that were already here. And I don't know if you noticed, but I added the little flower light from Werewolves on the countertop as well, and a little flower on the center of the table. Then we are into the greenhouse section. And I'm just adding some planters. I decided to use this special unlocked planter, the yellow one that you see there in the menu with like the little gems on the side. And also there's 2 vertical planters that I had just placed. And then I used a lot of the Greenhouse Haven like clutter stuff. So here is a little hanging flower basket. And then I add some extra little pots over here. I believe I also add some squirt bottles and that table, that little like fake flower arranging table that you really can't do anything with. It just kind of looks cute. I do put some stuff on top of there later, but here's those water bottles and then some dirt and like a pot with a shovel in it. I just thought that looked so nice. Here's some little tiny seedlings they have started, and then replacing the light, instead I use these wall mounted lights from Greenhouse Haven. Now I didn't like how big they were and how low they hung, so I did use tool mod to size them down ever so slightly, and they still functioned very nicely and lit up that room just enough. And then up here we are working on the bunk bed situation. This room, again, I kept very empty because it is so small. I didn't want your Sims to get messed up coming up the ladder and like something gets in their way and they can't go to bed if they need to. So I kept it very simple, but I used this dresser from Movie Hangout stuff. Maybe I didn't use limited packs. I take that back. And then here's oh man, this same rug from downstairs, except it's in the pastel rainbow swatch, and I use tool mod to size it up. And then I grab more of these candle lights again because I love them so much. I think I also went in to the holiday pack menu and I pulled out some like hanging fairy lights for the walls, and here's just making sure that our Sim could get up the ladder and into her bed very easily. The top bunk is always the hardest one, so that worked out very nicely, adding one more window from My Wedding Stories and also one more of these leaf curtain things because it just needed one more. And here we have the little fairy poster. It was so, I couldn't not use it. I had to. And then there's those lights going up and also these other lights from Parenthood as well. The traditional like twinkle lights. I don't know. It felt like it needed to be a little bit more enchanting. And then under the first bunk here, I decided to place a little wall decoration. This is from Nifty Knitting. I just think that it looks really cute down here. Like maybe you can come here to knit and just relax. I don't know. I thought it was a very nice way to decorate this home. Now I do add more vines later on. You won't see it because I did it off camera at the last minute when I was taking screenshots. I thought, no, this needs more flowers. So I added more like vining flowers and vines all along the outside of this house. But for now, this is what we have. There is a chimney. It doesn't smoke because there's no fireplace in here, but it looks really nice. Maybe they closed it in and instead extended the house to have the greenhouse section attached. And now we have the back porch going in, and here's where I started moving stuff and getting into trouble with this darn pergola and that bathroom. Ugh, the flooring got all messed up. It was terrible. But we fixed it. It's okay. Here is those vines from Cottage Living. I am moving around and trying to figure out where in the heck this pergola was going to go now because I changed everything. I did end up putting it back about the same place I had it, and it worked out just fine. I also found a neat way to hide those posts that you will see shortly. But here I am just moving everything around, including my vines, and resituating them. This is also why it's important to not worry too much about the outside of your build because you're probably going to have to change it if you end up expanding or moving things around anyway, but that's okay. We learn from our mistakes. Here's those posts I'm pulling out from Debug. They are from Cats and Dogs Debug, and I think they're from like the Harbor. They say like Debug Harbor something post. So I thought they looked really nice there, and they have like a very dull wood tone, so it kind of just works with the rest of the colors of this build. And adding a easel for the back porch, and then also a little set of stairs. I thought it would be nice to have a nice backyard situation with some flowers and maybe a little fountain. Here is I'm fixing the flooring and getting everything situated in the bathroom. I had to add my perfumes back, and I also put down a little stack of towels, but that's it for that bathroom. I really love that mirror. It's so pretty in there. And then here I am just doing the rest of the landscaping. So that will be it for the rest of the build, is just landscaping. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. We also did add some live edit like rock cliff pieces with some moss on it. I sized them down with tool mod and I lowered them down into the ground. so that it didn't just look like this house was sitting on a very strange hill in the middle of nowhere, like it's kind of built in, because these same debug rocks are all over Sylvan Glade. There's very hilly and kind of mountainous once you get off of this lot, and this is the only lot in Sylvan Glade. When you spawn here, this is where you pop in, is just on this lot. Normally there's just a large debug pond that you could fish in. There's also a lovely waterfall right behind this house. I think you can fish there as well. You can look for frogs. What else can you do here? Take a lot of photos. You can bring your easel and paint beautiful landscapes. There's really not too much to do here. It's just pretty. You know what else? This would probably make for a really cute wedding destination. You couldn't actually set up the wedding as this would be the wedding destination, but you could come here with your Sims and invite all their friends and just have a very small wedding. That would be very cute, actually. I think that would be nice. All you would have to do is add like a little arch in the back, and there's plenty of room for that. I think it would be so cute. So here's some more flowers going in, and I'm using this fountain from Romantic Garden Stuff. I had to switch it out because I liked these colors better in this lighting, and also this lovely bench. I put 2 of them right here, and then I was adding some porch lights. I just use the bracket keys to raise it up ever so slightly so that they look like they were part of the fence posts. And then I use the terrain paint to make a path with this cottage living stone with the flowers growing in the middle. And then I went over it with the regular dirt to make it just slightly darker, make it blend in a little bit better. And then a little bit of terrain paint where all the plants are so that they weren't just sitting on green grass. I feel like terrain paint really can help blend a home into its surroundings. Now here you can't really tell. Everything is just bright pink and sparkly and like sunbeams everywhere, and it's kind of hazy. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole thing. You come here and it's like you're in a completely different game, I swear. But I did enjoy spending a lot of time here with my Sim, even though she was grumpy the whole time because she was losing her close-knit lifestyle. Can someone tell me why? Why? It's so annoying. Also, I added this little clump of dirt back here just because I wanted to use it somewhere. That is also from Cottage Living, and just a bunch more plants going in, a bunch more terrain paint, and then you'll see me adding just a little bit more vinage and some roof decorations. This little post from Cottage Living, and also a lovely little fairy lights in a jar for the back deck. And that's pretty much it for this build. Here is my Sim just walking around in the backyard, enjoying her little vacation. I love how this house turned out. I love all the plants. There's little planter boxes on the outside of those cathedral windows. I also added off camera. And I just think, it's just so pretty here. I would spend a lot more time here now that I have this built and my Sims have somewhere to go where they can hang out and take a nap and eat some food and relax. Like perfect vacation destination. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you would use this lot for, if you would make it like a wedding destination or if it would just be a park. You could also make it into a fairy park, a little fairy museum, if you will. I don't know. It could be anything you want. I would love to know what your ideas are. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe and leave any comments down below for what you'd like to see next, or if there's something you've been thinking of trying and you want me to try it out first. I'd be glad to do that for you. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.